Hello, everybody. Vitaly Gaiman here, and today I'm with Tom Thomison from Encode, and we're going to talk about self-organization. But I want to get straight into the five principles behind self-organization. Tom has been, I have had a lot of years of experience in self-organizing and self-management, and I want to welcome Tom and thank you so
Mm.
much for.
Thank you, Vitaly. Yeah, very nice to be here. Really appreciate the work you're doing, getting the word out on more self-organization in the world. So, yeah, happy to be here and play.
Thank you, thank you. Tom, tell us, you have a very strong and clear idea about the five principles behind self-organization. Could you describe us what it is?
Yeah, at risk of being kind of cliche, everybody's got the three things, the five things, that whatever needed. I do think in this broader world of, quote, the new world of work, where things can tend to lean towards a little bit more aspirational and a little less practical. For me, I'd like to see some markers. What are we shooting for? What does this new world of work, of self-organization look like? What are the markers that we're looking for? And for me, I draw from my decade experience practicing with Holocracy and launching Holocracy 1 over 11, going on 12 years ago. So kind of from deep experience that these are the five things that I look for and actually are really baked in to the rule set that is the Holocracy Constitution. So the cool thing about Holacracy when you practice is you don't have to remember principles or markers or characteristics. All you have to do is play the game. And I think that's the hallmark of a good system. The system is encoding the principles that we care about so that the gameplay expresses the attributes or the characteristics that we want to see. So that said, and there have been others. I think Fred Laloux in Reinventing Organization did a mighty fine job identifying teal, which is a color marker, and that encodes for evolutionary purpose, for self-management, making the distinction between self-management and self-organization that Christiana made last time, I think, on your show. And then wholeness, bringing whole self to the game. So those were Fred's markers, if you will, or breakthroughs in his language in Reinventing Organization. But I like it I'm an entrepreneur, so I want to know concretely, what are we encoding? And so we came up with five things that we look for that are baked into Holacracy. One is, of course, purpose. So no surprise there. Evolutionary purpose is the bedrock of self-organization. It is the new authority figure, if you will. It's the new box. It's what everything hangs on. Purpose is key. And purpose is sweeping the planet, right? So purpose-driven everything, for-purpose structures. About global purpose. I just was speaking with a really cool conference talking about how purpose shows up in all kinds of practices and disciplines, even beyond just the organization space. So purpose for sure. And it's not your revisiting of vision and mission, not that at all. Purpose is something unique and distinct from what came before. It is more closely aligned to Simon Sinek's work of the fundamental why something exists. And so we get to what is the real offering that the enterprise or the entity or the organization is offering the world, and something that we serve that's greater than ourselves. So purpose is certainly the most important piece that everything hangs on. The other is structure, or as we say, holarchic. It's a fancy word for structure. It's a replacement structure. So in the conventional world, we're all familiar with management hierarchy. That is a power hierarchy of the people, right? So top down, dotted lines, matrices, we get really clever, but it's still a power hierarchy. And there's been a lot of work to try to eliminate that, to say that that's bad. But I think that's actually a mistaken goal, is to try to replace hierarchy and make things flat. Nature hates flatness. Nature, we are organized in structure, in a hierarchy. We just want a different type of hierarchy, not a power hierarchy, but a purpose holarchy, a natural structure, a structure of the work in pursuit of, guess what, the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then we want everything to be dynamic. So we want to change on a dime. We want to be agile or lean or all the terms de jour that are out in the market. And again, these are not aspirational things. They're baked into the Constitution, the rule set. How do you sense and respond to things that could be different? How do you organization opposed to trying to control it or predict where things should be going? And then we have autonomy. Another marker is a high degree of autonomous behavior. In other words, we drop the permission-seeking cultures in conventional organizations, and we move to everyone gets to lead. Since there's no authority figure, there's no management hierarchy, there's no one to ask permission for, there's a replacement for that process. Everybody's free to lead, and everybody's free to follow. So this instills good leadership and good followership throughout the entire organization. And then finally, to make all of that work, you need a high degree of transparency. Everything should be visible, as much visibility as you can stomach, as I sometimes say. So it's the great game of business, or open book management on steroids. It's everything is visible. Again, to the degree the organization or the enterprise can stomach it, that it's useful and doesn't do harm. But the objective is to have visibility on data that can take the form of measurements or metrics or OKRs or performance indicators, anything that gives us visibility on how we are tracking towards our purpose. So these are the 5 markers. The cool thing is they're baked into the Constitution. You don't have to remember them. All you have to do is practice.
So
and
can
what
you
Encode is updating. Yep.
Can you just repeat all the 5 principles again quickly? Just so
the 5 markers that we're looking for, the 5 principles, if you will, is purposeful, holarchic, a structure, a replacement structure, dynamic, autonomous, and transparent. These are the 5 markers that are baked into the Holocracy Constitution, and these are the very same markers or characteristics that we're baking into the new upgraded systems around people and legal and capital structures.
Right, and this is what
the very same principles in the legal structure, the legal anchoring, the capital structures, for-purpose investments, right, for-purpose earnings, for-purpose profit sharing and profit distribution, and the same on the people side, a collective of independent agents who are no longer employees, but actually independent agents of, guess what, purpose, all coming together to serve something greater than themselves. So that's how the new world of work shows up for me, and the 5 markers that I look at and pay attention to.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to put more information on the post so people can go to Encode and read much more about it. Thank you so much, Tom.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you inviting me here.